When we heard that there was going to be an award for excellence in workers' compensation, everybody in our department said, well, it's got to be Terry. We've got to nominate him. And then we heard it was the Sue Ann Head Award. And we knew that Terry, for decades, had worked alongside her, held her in the highest personal regard. And when we heard that this award was named after her, we thought we have got to do a great job on his nomination. Terry's taught me a lot. He has pretty much become my professional mentor. I've learned how to manage a file, how to talk to people, and to put myself in their shoes, to try to be concise with them, try to be direct, to try to be practical with the advice that we give them. Most importantly, learn to be honest with them. Terry has always preached that, and he's always kind of shown us as a department at Muneer & Harrod a level of humility that we need to have. You know, one of his things that he taught me when I started was never act like you're better than anybody else, because you're not. So you're here to serve your clients. I think his most important contribution is the 1992 Reform Act. Not only did he help write the legislation, try to help lobby get it passed, but he also shaped a lot of the cases that interpreted what that act meant. The best piece of advice he ever gave me was when he handed me a first death claim. He looked at me in the eyes and he said, never mess with the widow. And it was, of course, nobody would ever wants to mess with the family in a death situation, but his point was, this is a different thing. This is different from a quote-unquote regular file where we have an honest disagreement about a medical rating. And I want you to understand that when you're handling this file, this is really, really important. And that's stuck with me even to today.
Judy has served as our East Tennessee Regional Loss Control Consultants for our municipalities and other local government agencies in East Tennessee. I nominated Judy Housley for this award because I can't think of anyone more deserving that has dealt in the environment of excellence in workers' comp than Judy Housley. About 20 years ago, a little over 20 years ago, she had a brainchild for us that we have reaped, and the state of Tennessee has reaped so many benefits from, that we now call the Safety Partners Matching Grant Program. She said, why don't we set some funds aside and try to give some money back to our employers to help them purchase needed safety equipment, needed safety training. I can't tell you how many letters and emails and notes I've received because our town was able to purchase these things. We saved somebody's life. For years, I've had a nickname for Judy that she's East Tennessee's big sister. And that's the way her employers treat her, that, hey, if we need advice, we call Judy. Then we also have two, I guess you call them a mantra or two in our staff, and we say, find a need and fill it with these employers and for the safety of the employees of the local governments that we serve. And then the second is we kind of co-opted an old quote from Abraham Lincoln and amended it a little, and we say, you know, do for our members what no one else will do, but don't do for them what they can and should do for themselves. And there's no one who epitomizes those three things more than Judy Housley.
I would say that over the years, Mike is one of my go-to people when it comes to workers' compensation. I've worked with Mike Shinnick for the last 15 or so years, and through that time I have developed a deep respect for his professionalism and integrity. We have had the opportunity to work on several things in this time. For the last 8 years or so, Mike and I have served on the Employee Misclassification Advisory Committee as well as the Insurance Subcommittee. I've also seen Mike and his desire to educate individuals, which is shown through the insurance auditor teleconferences that he holds on a regular basis to make sure that he's educating the first line of defense against employee misclassification. Mike's most important contribution, he's a tireless public servant. He works with empathy and with professionalism and respect how to get people to work together. But I think probably the most important thing that I have seen Mike work on over the last 15 or so years is his work with the assigned risk plan. Through this program and through this educational system he has set up, we've been able to move some of these larger employers into the voluntary market, which is beneficial to everyone. I nominated Mike because he sees the big picture. He works not only for the employer, he works for the employee, and he understands fundamentally how the system works together to make it best for everyone.